Welcome to the M4 podcast. My name is Craig Hamer and I'm your host. Today on the show we have a guest from Great Britain. His name is Magnus McManus and he is a church planter. And Magnus, welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you and hello. It's great to be here.
Well, Magnus, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story and how did you get into church planting?
Yeah, so that I'm from Northern Ireland. Yeah, and so I grew up in the church there with my mother and my father, and we was in church all the time. All the time was in church. My mum, she was playing the organ each week, and my father was one of them ushers who used to help the people go up and down the aisles and pass the baskets and be doing all kinds of lovely things to help people in the church. And so for me and for all of my family, church was just a normal part of our lives.
Yeah, well, that sounds very familiar to my upbringing. So why don't you tell us, how did you go from where you were to where you are today?
Yeah, right. How did we get from where we were to where we are today? It's a great story. Let me tell you a little bit of the great story. So, me mate Charlie and I was sitting around the flat one day, watching a little footy on the telly, putting a little footy in my belly, and you see what I did there? A little bit of a rhyme. I got more rhymes than the Bible's got psalms, and jump around, right? So, me mate Charlie says to me, he says, have you ever heard of the other commission? And I said, the other commission? No, I've never heard of that. There's only one commission. It's a great commission, the Great Commission. And he says, no, the other commission. I said, in the Gospel according to Mark. And I said, the other commission in the Gospel according to Mark? Well, what does that say? And he says to me that it says that we are to preach the gospel to the whole of creation. And that's when it hit me. It was in that moment that my cute little cat, Mr. Timnis, looked me straight in the eyes. And I was looking deeply into Mr. Timnis' eyes, and Mr. Timnis looking deeply into my eyes. And everything changed.
Okay. Wow. That is really, really interesting.
Really great. That's exactly. It's life-changing moment for me. That's when I really started to see that the mission was far bigger than I'd ever imagined before. And I started to actually really consider what is going on in the life of my own cat and other cats. So that next week, Charlie and I went to the park and we set up a place for the other cats to come and meet the other cats. And we started to share a little bit of the gospel with the other cats that were there, and it was really quite exciting to see all the neat things that were happening. It was great. And one of the most exciting things we have going on is a new program we call 9 Lives. 9 Lives. And what we try to say to people is, you've only got 9 lives as a cat, but then what happens after the 9 lives? And so we're really excited about what could happen with all the cats that are there, and really the future of a church that is focused on reaching all of creation, especially all the cats of Northern Ireland.
Well, that is really, really interesting. And to be honest with you, I am absolutely speechless. But we thank you for sharing. And I, to be honest with you, I think that's enough for today's episode. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching. And if you'd like to learn more about M4 Europe, you can check out our website, m4europe.org. See you next time.